to the next topic now, which is confusing FF14 terms. Thing that we hear in game that doesn't really make sense to outside player. Like, let's say I say, okay, I want to have a full party for Uwu. Please know the mechanic, and I don't know the mechanic name, but I could probably say them. Okay, I could say like one. E9S, Happy Bramble, Tank Northwest, Healer East South, Boss Relative Position, Healer and Tank rotate clockwise. Pretty sure no one understands. If they're not Savage Rating, they don't know what I'm talking about. Which is super simple. Pretty much, if you want to know what term means, a lot of time, especially in Party Finder, they're gonna name a mechanic about like a player that kind of invented the mechanic or popularized the mechanic, I guess I could say. So like when I say Happy Bramble, that's for one of the phase. It's I think it was Mr. Happy that came out with one way to do the Bramble, which is clock position, which I'm gonna talk about clock position as well. There's so many. I just realized there's so many terms now. I guess I could say, okay, I'll do that.
Learning too.
Yeah, I'll do another way. What is a term that both of you still don't understand, or understand now that you didn't understand at the start? Let's start with Nori.
What?
Like a term that when you started to play FF14 that you didn't know what it was.
Let's see. I have to think because it was a very long time ago.
Like it could be a rating term, just a regular term or stuff like that. Like I got a list here that I got a lot here. Like in terms of job, I guess that's a one we can start about. Because every job is...
For a while, I didn't know the class abbreviation.
Yeah, like I pretty much know them by heart, but let me bring them up just in case. Class abbreviation FF14. So yeah. So I guess like GLA and stuff like that we don't really use because that's first class, but yeah. GLA, Gladiator, PGL, Pugilist, or whatever you want to say it. I probably didn't say it right. And I probably got like Pugilist. Okay. Pugilist. I'm gonna say Pugilist because it sounds like Pug. MRD, Marauder. LNC, Lancer. RNC, Archer. THM, Tormatorch. CNG, Conjurer. AC, and those are like the first tier job. No one really used those terms anymore, I think, right? Unless they forgot to equip a Chopstone.
Or Chopstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that a couple of times.
I've seen that.
I did Shiva with a Gladiator, so I saw that.
I did one of the, I think it was Dunscape. Did Dunscape with the Conjure.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Never forget you Chopstone if you play the game, please.
Yes.
And if you do...
Gladiator sounds cooler than Paladin.
No. I was just saying no.
I've seen people say that. That's why
So I guess we can go like, okay, I'm gonna say the term. You're probably both gonna say know it, but both of you can say it. PLD.
Paladin.
Yeah, Paladin.
I remember that because it was my first job.
All right. MNK.
Monk.
Monk.
Mm-hmm. WAR.
Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Warrior. I don't know why I didn't register that.
DRG.
Dragoon.
Mm-hmm.
Dragoon.
BRD.
Bard.
Bard.
SMN.
Summoner.
SCH.
Scholar.
Yeah, Scholar.
That one's hard to say. SCH. Huh. I don't know why. WHM.
White
White
mage.
mage.
BLM.
Black
Black mage.
mage.
Okay, now let's go into something else. CRP.
Carpenter.
Okay. BSM.
Blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
Okay. ARM.
Armor.
Okay. MIN.
Miner.
BTN.
Botanist.
Botanist.
FSH.
Fisher.
Fisher.
ELC.
Alchemist.
Okay. CUL.
Culinary.
Culinarian.
Yeah. Or cook, whatever you want to say. Wait. Okay, perfect. GSM.
Goldsmith.
Okay. LTW.
Leatherworker.
Leatherworker.
WVR.
Weaver.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So Nori got all of them, and Ryuko was lagging a little bit behind, but that's fine.
Hey, you need to call me out. I don't always. My brain doesn't always process audio that well.
I guess there's a stat, like I got the stat abbreviation here, but we don't really use them anymore because we don't have to distribute point anymore. So, because that was a thing before.
Yeah, and like honestly, you can just highlight stats to read more about what they do.
Yeah, and it's really, really more like class specific. Like a lot of time, you're just gonna focus on one stat and that's it, and your gear is gonna show it. That's what that way. All right, so okay, let me get the term and random here. Okay, no, let me. If I say A1S, what do that mean?
Alexander. Fist of the Father. Savage.
Yeah, Alexander 1 Savage. Yeah.
Yeah, what Nori said.
I only know that because I'm helping someone. I was helping someone unlock the normal ones earlier.
Let's say O5S.
O5S. That's Omega.
I haven't done the Omegas yet.
So would that be
The 5th Omega Raid Savage.
Sigmascape V1.0 Savage.
It's AlphaScape. It's Omega 5 Savage at
Yeah.
AlphaScape, which is Chaos, pretty much. Chaos from FF1. I know I did all of those, so I cannot remember them. And
I just listed whatever was fifth in the list.
like O8S is Kefka, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's Kefka. Perfect.
Kefka. I named him my Chocobo. When I started playing this game again, like 5-6 years ago, I named him my Chocobo after him. And I found it so amazing that they eventually put Kefka in the game.
Yeah.
My Chocobo has been named Quefka since the start.
Right. Let's say another thing. GCD.
Global
Cooldown.
Which is pretty much anything that is a regular ability, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That is like all on the same GCD, which is 2.5 seconds. So when you use that, you have to wait 2.5 seconds before you use another GCD. Or
I just did a lot of studying on that because Dark Knight requires a certain amount of GCD to be able to do stuff properly.
If you look at your tooltip and the recast time is longer than 2.5 seconds, that means it's not a GCD. Typically.
Yeah. Let's see.
There's like a couple exceptions.
My stuff said 2.39.
If I say DC.
Disconnect.
Yes, and the other term.
Data center.
Also referred to as Pokeballing.
Yeah, if you're gonna.
Oh, I thought you meant data center, like the other thing it could mean.
Yeah, the other thing is the data center. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Which like
I win this round.
which is like the data center is like the main server group, I guess I could say. That's the best way I could describe it. Like a data center have multiple like server on them, and soon that's not gonna be that much because you're gonna be able to travel to the rest. But yeah, for now that's what it is.
Right now we're stuck on our data centers.
Yeah. CWLS. A big silence here.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
All right.
What was it?
CWLS.
Oh, Crossroad Link Shell.
Exactly, yes. Which is cross-server chat, pretty much. You can talk with anyone and your data center.
Data Center Link Shell is the one.
Yeah. Like, it's pretty much, it's a super great tool, and it's a great tool for Sprout and for free trial people, because free trial people cannot talk and whisper. But
Okay, you can't tell as a Sprout, but you can be invited to a Link Pearl or
exactly,
Link Shell.
which is super good. If you're like friend, which is, and you can have up to 8 link shell, if I remember correctly, 8 or 10. I don't recall exactly. I didn't match them yet, so. But yeah, if you're like, you can do a link shell with just 2 people if you want to, not have to be a crosswall, and that way you can tell to the other person. So that's a great way.
You just need the other person to not be a free trial player.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. CD, I guess it's pretty much used in every, which is cooldown. That's pretty much used in every game, I think.
Yeah.
One of the rating term, cardinal. What would that mean?
North, south, east, and west.
I was gonna say the compass directions.
And then intercardinals are north, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast.
Yes, and this is
fancy.
this is used a lot while describing mechanic and rating a lot, because a lot of time you can say, okay, every DPS go to you intercard, tank go to card and stuff like that. So it's really useful for tanking. And okay, if I say true north, not the ability.
Like
North according to the compass in game.
Yes. Because there is two north in the game. True north and boss relative north. Boss relative north is going to depend where she is looking, or where the boss going to be looking.
You're thinking about E9S again.
Yeah. Like, let's say the boss is facing a certain direction. A lot of time, the tank is going to be on south. Well, I don't know, it can depend on the mechanic. But a lot of time, like, the butt of the boss is going to be north, and the face is going to be south. And you want to arrange that way. And you have to not look at your, like, marker. Which is, like, what people say about boss relative. Which is going to be positioned depending on where the boss is looking. Because a lot of time, boss going to look around, like, move around, and turn around and stuff like that. So, boss relative is cardinal, well, yeah, cardinal direction based on the boss. And true north is cardinal based on the true compass on the game. So that's pretty much the big thing. Let's say I say BIS.
Essence slot.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much check on a lot of time check on balance Discord, by the way, which is a good class tool for a lot of class. There's a lot of guide if you want to learn a lot of way to learn your class, learn your best and slot. A lot of times it's going to be class strategy for different fight. Like if you're in this fight, especially for like black mage and melee, like, okay, doing that, you have to in your positional, so use True North, the ability. If you're a black mage, you can stay there and not move and do damage. So yeah, balance, Discord, great way to learn the game.
If you're going to be a caster, the website you want to check out is Awk Morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Which you focus on all the caster stuff. Okay, let's say I say animation lock. What does that mean?
That is when you use an ability. It'll hold your character in place while you're doing it. So your where your hitbox is, it's going to stay put until that animation finishes. It can sometimes work against you. I say this as someone who used to play Dragoon actively for a while.
Yeah, and as someone would play Ninja, Assassinate has animation lock, and a lot of time it's scary.
So pretty much you're kind of they're defenseless for a few seconds, and so if an AoE is put down while you're in this lock, you're not gonna be able to get out of it.
Yeah, unless you're super lucky and manage to run out, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have to deal with animation lock.
Yeah, since you're a summoner, usually you're fine. Okay, this one, I don't know if I should talk about it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. ACT.
Advanced
Combat
Combat
Tracker.
Yes, which is technically not allowed in game. It's a
Is
Yeah.
against TOS.
yeah, it's a damage a DPS meter.
No, they said that they don't really have issues with the meter itself. It's when people use it to be abusive towards other people
Yeah.
that they have a problem with it. So for the most part, as long as you're just using it as a self-improvement tool, you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Now, if you're gonna be like this one streamer who was like bashing a black mage that they got in their group, and like they're just like harassing the ever living hell out of them over their DPS.
yeah, as long as you're not being a dick about it, you're fine.
Yeah, like I use it to keep track of myself and what I can work on.
Yeah, exactly. Because at the same time, another good thing about ACK is if you put it on FF log, you can then put it on FF analysis, and they're gonna tell you everything you need to improve.
Yeah, that's also very helpful.
Like, it helped me a ton on Ninja, because it tell me, okay, you're doing OGCD. I'm gonna talk about OGCD after that. Like, too often, you're clipping in your ability. Gonna talk about clipping as well then now. Alright, so now, in that case, let's say OGCD.
Off the global cooldown.
Yeah, that's pretty much an ability you can weave in between global cooldown that have their own cooldown on their own, and they're not affected by the 2.5 GCD. So a lot of time, what you gotta do is either like use an ability, then use an OGCD, then use another ability, which is called weaving. A lot of time you're gonna need to double weave as well. If that means, and the spaz of the 2.5 second between two ability, you need to use two OGCD. A lot of time that's used for potion and buff and stuff like that. Like for example on Ninja, my rotation usually is use an ability, use Mug, which is OGCD, use a potion at the same time, which is another OGCD, then use another regular ability. So that's like my opener, and my first 2.5 second, 2.5 second, I should have used 4 ability that way. So yeah, that, I guess at the same time I explain what weaving is, which is, like I said, using OGCD and between regular GCD abilities.
Something important to keep in mind is you can never weave more than 2 abilities, and on some jobs, you will never be able to weave more than 1 ability because of how fast the GCD gets.
It's technically possible to weave 3 OGCD on Red Mage. Technically.
It's technically possible, but like you're also at the whims of things like, you know, your connection and
And
because there's that like 0.7 second lock associated with weaving.
Yeah. And I guess at the same time I should ask another term. Server tick.
Ooh,
Happens every
very
3
fun.
seconds.
very fun. Thing.
But
I think that's I like testing server ticks when I'm playing Benediction Roulette.
yeah, server tick is pretty much how much a game like you or not. I guess I could say. Server tick is like pretty much how long until the server register something is happening. I guess that's the best way I could describe it. So yeah, it's like, because a lot of time you're gonna say, oh, like I got server tick there because I got hit by the ability and stuff like that. So yeah, and server tick can change from dungeon to dungeon, because a lot of times the dungeon is going to be on a different server. So,
Yeah, but a key thing to remember is it is like on a 3-second, like, it might be different when you go into an instance area, but it's still going to be 3 seconds. And that's important to keep in mind because that affects things like the actual potency of your dots, which is damage over time. Like if a dot lasts for 15 seconds, that means it ticks 5 times because 15 divided by 3 is 5 for the server tick.
So yeah, and it's the same thing like for mana regen and stuff like that. It's really important for Black Mage, their regen on tick and stuff like that. So yeah, server tick, it's pretty much a lot of things that the server is gonna govern, I guess. Yeah, like it's how long it takes the server to register something's happening.
Like, which is why you can be on the opposite side of a wall, but hit by an attack that's on the other side, because within those 3 seconds, the game registered you as on the other side of the wall.
Mm-hmm. Since it's a lot of time, it's gonna be normal for you to move into a circle, move out of the circle, then move back into the circle. Once the server take register, okay, that circle is gone, you can go back in. It's no longer like dangerous there. That's something a lot of people like gonna learn just by playing, pretty much, and by seeing the abilities.
Yeah, you get a feel for it.
Yeah, exactly. If I'd say, okay, our group is going blind into this dungeon.
With no prior knowledge, no guide, no nothing.
Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty much not checking any guide, just going in and trying to figure it out. Use more for raiding, for extreme and savage raiding, because people are gonna say, okay, we're going in blind, we don't know any of the mechanic, we're gonna try to figure it out on the fly, which is super fun to do. You learn so much doing that. Buff is used in pretty much every game, so don't really need to talk about that. Okay, if I say CCW.
CCW. Oh, counterclockwise?
Yeah. That means if you look at the clock, you go the opposite way, pretty much. So pretty much you would go from to the left, right? Right, left.
Yeah, you would rotate in a like leftward circle rather than a rightward circle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or to put it into terms people might get, go from northeast to northwest to southeast rather than the opposite of that.
Yeah, that's like that makes it so much easier. And same thing, CW, clockwise. Pretty much you go in the sense of what a clock would do. That's used a lot and raiding as well for like knowing how to dodge mechanic, and as well if something say rotate clockwise, that means after a certain ability, everyone's gonna move one spot on the clock position, which is the next term I want to talk about. So if I say clock position, what does that mean? That's like one of the basic.
I don't know if it's like the thing is I don't want to look stupid because I don't know if it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or if it's just like general being in a circle around the boss.
It's pretty much around a circle. Like pretty much, it's your determined position for this fight, or in general. A lot of times that's gonna mean like tank is gonna be north and south. That's gonna be their clock. Main tank usually is gonna be north, and the reason for that is a lot of time the melee DPS gonna be in the south, so they can have the positional from the back, make it easier for them. A lot of time, either is gonna be east and west for the clock. And for that is because it makes things easier to stack on a healer, let's say if it's needed, because it's easier to collapse on them. And yeah, it's pretty much your determined position for that fight. A lot of way that people are gonna do that is they're gonna put a square on the ground with a marker, and they're gonna say, okay, go to your clock. That means go to your position related to the boss, where you're gonna go. So people go in like the square around the square for that. which I guess I could talk about what is Light Party.
That's us.
Other than that, I was ready for that.
A group of 4.
Mhm.
Yeah, a four-person content rather than 8-person content.
And then a full party is 8.
Yeah, and that term is also used in raiding for Light Party mean group of 4, because in raiding you are 8. If it's a Light Party stack, that means 2 stack of 4. So that makes sense for that. And it's like, it's really important. And okay, let's say I say partner.
Your romantic interest.
Yes and no. That's gonna be the one you share your like, let's say there's more than, let's say there's 4 stack. That means your partner is gonna be the person that you're gonna take that stack with. A lot of times it's gonna be like tank DPS, healer DPS, tank DPS, healer DPS, gonna be all the partner stack. A lot of time the way that people do that is on clock position, your partner is going to be the person to your counterclockwise, or, well, okay, no. If you're a DPS, your partner is going to be the person that you counterclockwise. If you're a tank or healer, your partner is going to be the person to your right, to your clock position. No, to your left, clock position. Man, I'm bad with that today. But yeah, pretty much. Partner.
Thinking in circles is hard.
Yeah, like I'm trying, like, I'm thinking with circle and square, it doesn't match. But yeah, it's pretty much, if they say partner up, that means go with the person you're supposed to take a stack with. And it's used on a lot of fight, like a lot of fight. A lot of times they say partners to corners. That means each group of 2 go to the corner of the arena you're supposed to go. It's going to be like partner go to enter card. So partner go northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, and take the thing. So it's more used for raiding, but it's still pretty useful. If I say DF,
Dungeon Finder. Duty Finder.
Duty Finder, yeah.
Wrong game.
you had the spirit.
I thought you said BF, and I was gonna say best friend.
I took my water because of that. Alright. So yeah, Duty Finder is pretty much like Nori said, the Party Finder stuff. It's like the automated thing to find
yeah,
dungeon.
it's automated matching.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That's how you get pugs, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, yes and no. There's another way that I'm gonna talk right after. But it's pretty much Duty Finder is not used that much other for roulette. Roulette is your dungeon queue pretty much. Like your daily dungeon.
And for MSQ stuff.
Yeah. But for the rest, a lot of time people are, and yeah, for main dungeon, but for anything that is IN, they're gonna use the second term I'm gonna ask, which is PF.
Party Finder.
Yes. Which is which is pretty much another system in the game, Party Finder, which is semi-organized group, I guess I could say. It's mostly used for IN content or for a specific content, like Blue Mage stuff. A lot of people are gonna say, okay, go to your check the party in the Party Finder, which is like you can bring it up by pressing the community tab, if I remember correctly, in the menu. If you go community, if I remember, there's Party Finder there. And that's also where you're gonna find all the Brothel and Club and RP servers.
Yeah, I was about to say there's someone who posts on Ether. There's someone who always has a Party Finder up, selling a high HQ feet pics.
Yeah, like there's a lot of weird thing in Party Finder, but it's usually mostly used for events and IN stuff and specific dungeon, like Blue Mage or Unsync Run, and like if you want to run, like let's say I want to run Titania Extreme, I would not use 2D Finder because it would take ages to find a group. I probably would not even find a group in a day. Or if yes, it's going to be a really bad one, to be honest. Let's say donut. What did that mean?
An
close
AoE
to the
marker.
boss.
It's an AoE marker that is empty in the center.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a big circle, and then there's like a safe spot in the middle.
Yeah. So it's pretty much if someone say, okay, there's going to be a donut, that means usually get under the boss. Usually the donut is based under the boss, but there's a couple of exceptions as well. But yeah, it's a place where the safe spot's going to be either at the far edge, if it's a small donut, or in the middle. Like, usually it's in the middle. Not right. Okay, I could say, if I say E1S, but that's just like Eden 1 Savage. E something mean Eden. A something mean of Alexander. O something mean Omega, or Alphascape, or Deltascape. And those are pretty much the raid tier for that place. What's the abbreviation for Bahamut already? I don't
For
remember.
what?
For the Court of Bahamut. Is it C?
It's usually just referred to as coils.
Yeah, it might just be course. Been a while since I did those, so
Yeah, I've never seen anyone abbreviate it as anything other than coils.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, let's say I say ES.
Eden
Yes?
Savage.
Nope. Let's say okay, I'm gonna make it easier. I'm gonna say I want to do the ES of that fight.
Oh, EX extreme.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were saying ES.
That's why I was so confident.
Oh, yeah, that must be like my accent getting in the way there. But yeah. Usually most of the trial, a trial, by the way, is one of, it's versus one boss, pretty much. I'm gonna get more into that later on. But if you want to do the EX version of a fight, that means the extreme version, which usually it's harder and has more mechanic in it, but there is more reward, which is going to be like mount, gear, glamour, music, a lot of good stuff that you can get from those. And usually,
Mounts.
yeah, pretty much every ES has a mount, right? If I recall.
Except for that Castrum something where you get the Diable artifact gear.
Yeah.
That was a strange one.
I think the Yojimbo one though just has barding, right, and not a mount.
There's
Yeah, I don't think there's an extreme for the Yojimbo trial.
yeah, there's none for that one for the Gilgamesh fight, you mean?
Yeah, the pretty much all the Manderville trials don't have an extreme
Yeah, because those are like
version. Yeah.
more base casual, I guess I could say.
Yeah, they're more like about the story and not so much the loot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say we're gonna about to face the enrage mechanic.
Ah, yes, the enraged
You didn't do
is
well
when
enough.
you didn't do enough damage throughout the fight, so now the boss is just gonna one shot everybody because he's getting tired of everyone hitting him for so long.
Yeah, enrage is pretty much. It's not in normal fight. At least if yes, it's gonna be in like a few normal fight, but it's usually like an extreme or savage version of a fight. The boss could have an enrage timer. Once that is done, either everyone's gonna die in one shot or die really, really fast.
Yep.
If I say fate, what does that mean?
Oh, this is the little instances that can pop up out in the world. And you can do those for XP, or sometimes there's bigger scale fates that they'll give like pets or orchestrions, or like there's one in Stormblood that gives a Dark Knight weapon glam.
Yeah, pretty much fate are like small event that happen during the mat, which is like small quest, I guess I could say. It's
Yeah.
most of the time, he's gonna say, collect that many items in this circle, kill that many enemies in this circle, etc. It's pretty much like a small quest that has a timer, which is usually is like 15 minutes that it's gonna stay there, and you have to just complete the objective in that small area there. And yeah, it gives you like XP. Later on, it gives you even like gear currency and stuff like that.
Yeah,
All right.
and there's a couple that can give you. Oh wait, Nori already mentioned the mounts, like the Ixion one.
Yeah, like
Yes, those.
okay, let's say okay. How can I phrase that? Okay. If I say okay, watch out for the tank flare.
What was that? Sorry.
What? You can repeat?
What was it you asked?
Let's say okay, the tank's gonna get a flare on their head.
Flare. You mean like a tank buster? Or like
It can
really
be a
good-
it can be a tank buster at time. Pretty much flare.
You lost to me.
Pretty much flare is an ability that's gonna deal damage based off the proximity of that player.
Oh, okay.
that's
I
what
didn't know
those
that
are
actually
called.
had a term, to be honest.
Yes.
I've never heard that used. Wow.
I always
see,
just
I'm
said
still learning
proximity
stuff.
damage.
That's weird. I like with my radio group, we all also, like everyone's that I know say flares, so that's why I was like, I do not want it.
You're probably right. I've never been in a context where someone needed to tell me what that was.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's way more used for raiding. So, but yeah, flare is get away from that. Usually, it's gonna be like 3 arrow pointing outside. Like you're gonna see like 3 arrows and a triangle over the head of someone that point outside. If that is on you, that means you have to get away from the party. If that is on someone, you have to get away from them then.
Inverse stack marker.
Yeah, inverse stack marker, which is going to be arrow pointing on you. That means people need to be on you for that. And there's going to be like 2 different kind of stack marker. One of them is going to be just 4 arrow pointing toward you. That's usually going to be a circle that people need to stand on. The other one's going to be like a rectangle of 6 on the side and 1 at the front and the back. That means that's most likely going to be a beam. So people need to stack on you, and sometimes, depending on the mechanic, people in the front's going to take more damage than people in the back. But that depends on the mechanic. That's another whole thing.